So a couple days ago, iDubbbz uploaded a video announcing that Creator Clash made a profit of negative $250,000.
We lost $250,000 on the event.
Which means no money went to charity, despite the event being heavily promoted as a charity boxing event, to the point where Ian was mocking other influencer boxing events for not being charity events. A couple days before the event began, I made a video talking about this deceptive marketing from iDubbbz and Creator Clash, explaining how with Creator Clash 1, majority of the proceeds from the event ended up going to staffs, fighters, and other expenses, rather than directly to charity itself. Partly due to how expensive it is for the event to be run, but also because he decided to give all of his fighters a bit of a payday for participating in the event. And I was only able to figure this out due to connecting the dots with a bunch of obscure out-of-the-way information provided by people involved in the event, which I was only looking into because I happened to be documenting all of the drama surrounding this event on Twitter for my YouTube channel. So I ended up being the first and one of the only people on YouTube to talk about this. And most of what I found and hypothesized about ended up getting confirmed through iDubbbz's new video talking about the harsh reality of Creator Clash 2.
Once our expenses are paid off for the event, like all the minimums of like, you know, broadcasting, the hotel, travel, all that sort of stuff, once that's all paid off, then we can start paying the charities.
And an adamant defender of iDubbbz and Anisa, as well as the announcer for Creator Clash, Akinola, responded to Keemstar, confirming what Froggy Fresh claimed by sharing the detail that all net profits are going to charity, meaning that only once the revenue from Creator Clash passes the threshold to break even for whatever they paid the creators to fight, as well as any other operational costs, only then any extra money will go to the charities, which is a far different outcome than what was promoted by both iDubbbz and all of the creators involved in the event, which is cool. I think they should be paid for their work, but then they would be raising money for charity in addition to getting paid to fight, rather than what they are implying, which is that they are fighting only for charity.
This is so cool and exciting, and it's all for charity, of course. I'm such a big proponent of doing things for charity. It's a big thing that drives my entire online experience.
A fighter got fired for breaching his contract. Would I have fired him? Irrelevant. Would you have kept him? Irrelevant. Are they allowed to fire him? Yes, absolutely. So what happened? You're going to turn on charities? Yeah, I'm boxing for charity. It's a good cause and it's going down no matter what.
Oh, you're going to pirate a charity event? Then I'll see you in hell. It's not ego. It's not about that. It's about the charity that I'm fundraising for, so.
And all this raw entertainment had one purpose in mind.
It's one of the few things that I've done that's not driven by money.
I love that.
This is for a good cause.
We're here because of some great charities that I know you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
None of this was to put money in anyone's pocket. It was to put on an entertaining thing to raise money for charity.
The Creator Clash also donated a lot of their proceeds to charity. I'm not exactly sure how much.
Over $1 million for charity, so.
Badass.
Yes.
All the profits are going to charity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there like a payday in the future you guys are working towards?
No, not really.
And now we got to do it to help other people?
yeah. You can't do your get the bag fight. Sorry, Phil.
You know, because each fighter gets a $20,000 stipend. And for anyone like confused about this or thought everyone was fighting for free, they pretty much are fighting for free. I think any of the fighters can attest to the fact that fighting in Creator Clash is not a financial boon in any way. I think other boxing promotions would like disagree that, you know, fighters should be getting paid this amount, but, you know, to each their own. What do I know? We lost $250,000 on this event. Another thing I want to address is there are some people floating rumors around that we're pocketing money from Creator Clash, and that's extremely hurtful because it has been nothing but the opposite. I understand that some people out there don't like me. I'm okay with that, but the thing I'm not okay with is just lying to people and making up shit for the sake of like clicks. I mean, this is hard enough as it is. Like, I don't want to make this video telling people that we made half as much or we sold half as many pay-per-views as we did last year. And what I absolutely don't need is people spreading rumors about us pocketing money.
So iDubbbz in his video says that people are spreading rumors that Ian and Anisa have been pocketing the money for Creator Clash. Now, I've seen pretty much all of the discourse, specifically on Twitter and YouTube, about Creator Clash and all of the drama as I've been making videos documenting all of it, and not once did I hear someone claim that iDubbbz or Anisa were pocketing money for Creator Clash. In fact, as I said earlier, the only person who really talked about the finances of Creator Clash, outside of just mentioning that they're giving money to charity, was me and my video, which is a video that Ian and Anisa have watched, as 10 days after it was uploaded and 4 days after the event happened, they went on H3's podcast to talk about the event, and in that podcast, they said this.
I don't know. According to a couple of YouTubers, we're pocketing $1.7 million. So.
Ooh. What's the calculus on that one?
Well, they thought the production cost of the event was $100,000, so.
Just in total.
In total, the whole thing.
So the numbers they reference in that clip directly correlate to my video, as I claim that $1.7 million of the speculated $3 million they made off Creator Clash was spent on the event itself and not going to charities, as they announced that 1.3 went to the charities, so any other money made obviously went to funding the event, as they said all profits went to charity. How I came to the conclusion of $3 million was taking the average ticket price for Creator Clash 1, which is $30, and timesing it by the speculated amount of pay-per-view sales that Creator Clash 1 ended up getting, which was 100k, which would add up to 3 million. This 100k number was confirmed by iDubbbz in his latest video.
But we did half as well as we did the first year. 50,000 compared to 100,000 the first year.
So I don't know how in that clip they can claim that I said they were pocketing money when I made it very clear that that 1.7 million was for event expenses, which includes the money they would be paying to the fighters, which the whole point of the video was to prove that the fighters themselves are making money off of Creator Clash, which was pretty much directly confirmed by one of the fighters, John Morrison, after he won his match.
To everybody who came out here tonight, this is for a great cause. Proceeds are going to charity. That's why I did this. I also did this for money. I ain't gonna lie, just keeping it real.
So what's the allure of doing a boxing match like this?
Money. You know, the competitive spirit runs deep in me, and yeah, money.
As for the 100k that they mentioned, that was me trying to speculate on the event costs outside of paying the fighters for Creator Clash 1, which admittedly, despite bumping up the speculation to 200k to make up for my lack of knowledge on how much it costs to run an event like this, I still ended up lowballing it a lot, saying it might have cost 200k minus the fighters, which would leave 1.5 million for them, and dividing it by all the fighters would end up giving them a payday of around 60k. In iDubbbz's latest video, he clarified that the fighters got 20k for Creator Clash 2.
You know, because each fighter gets a $20,000 stipend.
So assuming the payday for Creator Clash 1 was the same, it would mean that only $360,000 were used to pay the fighters, which would mean the event itself actually cost $1.34 million to put on, which is obviously a lot more than 200k. So admittedly, my math was very off, but the point I was trying to make is that the fighters weren't fighting for free, which was not made apparent in the marketing of the event, and was actively being used as a way to attack critics of Froggy Fresh being kicked from Creator Clash. As one of the fighters, Alana Pierce, literally said that he was denying money to charity because he kept the 15k that he was given for training purposes for the fight, which clearly isn't the case, as that 15k was always intended for him for fighting in the event, just like how every other fighter in Creator Clash 2 got paid 20k. So I said all of this on Twitter when the podcast happened, and Harley, who was the co-main card of the event, responded by saying that it was well communicated that the fighters were getting paid, which I personally disagree with. And he also says, I'm sure the benefactories of the event weren't concerned if the DJ, the ref, and the people involved got paid for their time and effort considering the amount raised, which is true for Creator Clash 1, but for Creator Clash 2, they might care a little more, considering Ian couldn't even recoup the costs of the event in order to give any of the potential profit to the charities. Based on all of the numbers given to us through Ian's video, the event sold 50k pay-per-views, which would mean it made about $1.5 million. since they are 250k in debt, it cost 1.75 million to host the event, with 480k of that amount going to the fighters, since they all got paid 20k and there were 24 fighters. This would mean the event itself cost about $1.2 million to put on, which is less than Creator Clash 1 that cost 1.34 million to produce based on the calculation of the fighters getting paid 20k. So maybe they were getting paid more for Creator Clash 1, but Ian ended up reducing the payday for Creator Clash 2 based on them not being able to make a profit, because naturally Creator Clash 2 would cost more to produce, considering the arena is much bigger, which would mean they'd need to hire more security and staff, as well as any other increase in costs that the new arena would necessitate. So I think the fighters in Creator Clash 1 got paid more than 20k, but obviously that's just speculation. Regardless, Creator Clash 2 did cost 1.22 million if you exclude the money used to pay the fighters, and even while keeping the big arena, there's so many ways that number could have been reduced. Like, for example, they had a gala afterwards that was paid for with the ticket sales from Creator Clash 2. That didn't need to happen. The first Creator Clash didn't have a gala, and I did hear iDubbbz reasoning in the video, and it was nice that they had a gala. But if you're gonna promise money to these charities with the sales from your event, but you prioritize a gala over axing it in order to make more money to go to profit for charity, is kind of scummy. Now, obviously they didn't know that they weren't gonna break even, but even with that knowledge in mind, any additional expenses you put towards the event is taking away money that could have went to the charity, something that Alana ironically accused Froggy Fresh of doing, when in reality, by Ian adding these unnecessary expenses to the event, he was actually the one who took potential money away from charity. Now, luckily, iDubbbz is taking responsibility by uploading this video that he really didn't have to, especially with information that wasn't even public before his video, so no one even had to pressure him into making this response. He just did because he knew he fucked up. And he is trying to take matters into his own hands when he did a 24-hour charity stream and helped raise over $160,000 for the charities that were going to receive any profit made from Creator Clash 2. So despite my criticisms of the event and me kind of getting slandered as someone who falsely claimed they were pocketing money when I never did that, I do appreciate Ian's effort to make things right. But some people on Twitter like Keemstar were not as impressed, and I will cover all of that drama in the next video. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications on. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.